Hi everybody, DJ Oakley with another special guest here on Player Profile for Warren JFK, or should I say, the Warren John F. Kennedy, state champion, Fighting Eagles. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you Gavin Shrum. Gav, how are you, brother?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Again, not as good as you, especially given, I don't know, the last month or so. You guys went on a tear unlike any other. The last one in the state to hold the trophy high. Talk to me about the emotions of the playoff run for you from the beginning all the way until the end.
It felt really good. Going into the playoffs, we got real hot, and that's what every team strives to do. The beginning of the year, we actually kind of started a little shaky, and then progressively we bonded as a team. We got stronger. We sharpened up the edges, cleaned the corners of the room, and by the end of the playoffs, we just got hot. We started winning big games. One really big game that we won was Howland against our crosstown rivals. Then we came back and beat Harding, who beat us earlier in that year. And we started beating really good teams, and that just really boosts our confidence around the team. Go into playoffs. We started off with Lowville. Great pitching performance by Cam, obviously. Next, we took on Lisbon. We played them a couple years ago. There was a little bit of hype around them, but we know that we could have got the job done. So we went with Jaden. He pitched that game, pitched phenomenal, got the job done that game. Then the district championship, Heartland Christian. We played them in the beginning of the season, and we beat them 8-0. I threw a perfect game against them. But we heard a lot that they got a lot better as a team. We looked at the record. They played some good teams, and they beat some good teams as well. And so we knew we had to bring our A game, and that was one of the bigger games for us, just because we knew that they were a decent team or a pretty good team walking into that game.
Right.
And Cam just got it done on the bum, just took control. And we ended up beating that team 10-0. And that just that was the ultimate time that we strived on from there. And that really got us hot.
So then you make it to Akron, and all of a sudden, all the chips are on the table. You got 11 guys facing 40 guys. You know, your whole roster's the size of their bullpen.
Yeah.
You look at this. I mean, did you guys take, an us against the world mentality? What was it that drove you against these bigger teams that some of them have a lot of tradition in state championship glory?
It was never that we never really doubted ourselves just because we were a smaller team with only 11 guys. We all 11 guys had one goal, and it was to hold up that gold trophy at the end of the year, which we ended up doing. But it was always not about how big the teams were or anything. We knew that we would play some big teams later in the tournament, which both Lincoln View and Fort Loramie were. And they had a lot of tradition in the past, especially Fort Loramie being the #1 ranked team, and Lowville being ranked #4, and or not Lowville, Fort Loramie or Lincoln View.
Lincoln View, yep.
Yeah, and I mean, they're walking out onto the field, and they're announcing their they announced the players on the bench first, and then they announced their starters, and me and my friends, me, Alex, Salvo, and Cam, were looking at each other, and we're like, these guys is benches as big as our starting staff. And I mean, they Lincoln View had more kids on their bench, I think, than our entire staff, including all 11 guys, our bat boy, and 3 coaches. So, I mean, they lined up the entire third base line. But it was never really about how big the teams were. Just because one thing that I will say about our team is every single kid had one goal, and we had 1 through 11. Every kid has heart on that team. They all want it really bad, and then that game in the playoffs just turned into who wants it more. And backs against the wall. You lose one game, you go home, and we just had the mentality that we were not going home.
You guys obviously won, state runner-up in football. You made it to the regionals in basketball, and take all of that, everything you learned this year, into baseball. Was anybody going to stop you? Like from that standpoint, the New York Yankees could have been in that other dugout, and I think you guys still would have held that trophy.
Yeah, I mean, really what happened is we played such a tough schedule in all sports. I mean, basketball, baseball, and football. We all play like above divisions. We played Division 1, Division 2 teams. In football, we played Division 3 and Division 4 teams. We rarely play any teams like in our own division. And I mean, we might come out with one or two, but for the most part, I mean, they're all ahead of us. And our coach and our AD really do a good job with that because it really gets us prepared for the playoffs, where when we go into the playoffs, we've already seen as much as we could see. And that especially helped us in baseball because in the playoffs, we played a couple of regular season games in between our playoff games. So we played like Mooney and we played Canfield. And after Canfield, we just knew like we would not see a better team than that. And I mean, they gave it to us, but I mean, that's also one of the best teams in Division 2, best you could get. And that really helped us. Mooney was also a great team, and we ended up pulling out 6-0 with them. That was a huge win. And, I mean, we didn't really see any other teams that were that good until, I mean, Fort Laramie was pretty good, and Lincoln View was also pretty good. And I think both teams in that, situation, they were good, and we knew they were good because they were playing in the same games as us in the state semis and the state championship, so we knew what we were dealing with.
What was it that had you guys believing so much in your team? I mean, it's tough to look down 11 is like borderline T-ball. Like, I got 7 on my T-ball roster, and I sit there and I go, they only had 4 more than I had, on my entire T-ball roster. And you sit there and you look and you go, was it just one of those things where there was just enough guys to believe in this, to wrap their minds around it? There was no naysayers. You guys have essentially been on the stage already, at some point this year in football. I just talked to the Iceman, Michael Morrow. He said, listen, we're not going home without a trophy. And he also, interestingly enough, said, you guys had a little conversation before the game in the state championship. What did he say to you?
He did give me some great advice because I think all of our nerves were up, and he was calming me down a little bit because right before the game, we were all sitting together. It was just like me, Michael, Alex, and Cam. And I was saying how I was getting a little bit nervous, and he's like, dude, you've been in this game before in football. Cam, you've been in it in every sport there is. And, I mean, he's like, Gavin, how do you feel at the end of that state championship football game? I was like, obviously, I felt pretty bad. And he's like, bring that into this game and use that energy against them, and let's pull out with the win because we're not going home with another silver trophy. And, that when, like, in all of our football group chats, with those seniors still in it because we still keep in touch a little bit, a bunch of kids texted in it, and a couple kids were saying that, like, this game, we always said it too, like, I preached throughout the entire playoffs revenge tour, and I said we will be holding up a gold trophy at the end of this year because the football team couldn't do it, which I wish we could, but we did win one for them, and I'm happy that we could say that. And I just want to get back to work so we can get another one.
How important was it for you to, Cam Hollabaugh is a special individual. He's one of your friends, obviously. He's your teammate. How important was it being the only senior that you get this one for him?
Honestly, I texted Cam right before the game in the morning, and I told him, I was like, this is my last athletic game that I'll be playing on the same team with you because we don't play on the same teams at St. Park. And,
right.
I was just like, thank you for everything that you've done for me. And it was just a great ride with you. And kind of got choked up a little bit writing it and typing it. And I just really wanted to go out there and get one for him just because there was no other way that I'd like to send him out with holding up that gold trophy and putting a ring on his finger.
And obviously you guys, were on the same football field in Massillon, walking off the field, unfortunately, with that silver trophy, like you said. How much – you talked about a revenge tour. There's a lot of people that sat here and said, well, congratulations, JFK. You got into the state championship game. It's good enough. You get the ball as the number 2. Everybody thought, Cam, he got you there. Whatever happens, happens. You took a little bit of offense to that. All these people saying, yeah, it was a nice ride. Like, you took offense to that and you said, watch me. Watch what I do. Take me through your mindset when you heard some of those people. None of them better have been from YSN, number 1. They better never say that about Gavin Shrum. But what did you think internally when people were saying, yeah, Cam got him there, but dot.
I mean, first of all, whenever we have a game with Cam on the mound, I mean, you just can't bet against the kid. I don't care who we play. If you put Cam on the mound, he has the ball in his hand. He has control of the game. He just has some factor in him that is just he just takes over. And
of course,
I mean, from there, it's his game. I mean, he lets his defense work with him. If things don't go the right way, we always pick him up, and he just gets right back to it. And I just felt like after he got that win for us against Fort Loramie and put us in the position to play in the state championship, I was like, I really need to go get this one for him and the rest of the city. But, a couple kids were saying, oh, well, they don't have Cam. I mean, they're going up against a kid who's going to Ohio State. And I was like, well, the kid from Ohio State also pitched his way to the state championship. And like Cam, he can't pitch in the state championship. Mm-hmm. And I just felt a little bit disrespected because, like some kids were just saying, like, oh, they don't have Cam and they might not win it just because he's not pitching. And I took that personal and I just did the most with it. And the adrenaline was pumping throughout the entire game. The crowd was amazing. The student section really kept me going. All their chants and stuff, and you can just hear the noise in the background. Even though I couldn't, I was pretty focused up. I could just hear the loud sounds, and it really kept me to keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and all the way until the last out. And we got to the 6th and 7th inning, and Coach Carmen goes, "Listen, they have one more punch in them." And he said this to me in the 5th inning, when I was icing my head and stuff just to cool down. Mm-hmm. And he goes, "Listen, they have one more punch in them. If you take that away from them, they're done." And 6th inning, I had a great inning. I don't exactly remember what I did, but I think I had 1 or 2 strikeouts, and then I got a out, or I had a strikeout and a double play. I forget what it was. And I just go on into the 7th inning, just hair on fire, locked in. I don't care who steps in the box. This is my game now, and I'm taking over. And the first and second batter, I just struck out. And you could just see I've watched the game 1,000 times already, but you could just see the emotion. Just after the strikeouts, it was just an incredible feeling. And then, it was crazy because in the regional final game that I pitched, the same exact thing happened. I'm pretty sure I struck out the first and second kid, and to win the regional final game, I threw a curveball, and the kid popped it up, and Alex DeSalvo caught it. And then in the state championship, on the bus ride there, he goes, "How much you want to bet? $100. I make the game-winning catch." And I don't know if anyone will believe this, but I know he will know it. He bet $100, which, it wasn't really a real bet.
I was going to say, no bets, no money was exchanged.
No, because I'm hey, if there's a fly ball hit in your direction at all, I expect you to catch it. Because that's how, I played with the kid for, I don't even know how many years. I can't even count it on 2 hands. If that kid, if a fly ball is hit to him anywhere in his area with 2 outs, I'm already in the dugout by the time he catches it. But in the state championship game, I threw a curveball. The kid popped it up, and I'm just watching Alex track this ball down, and I'm like, this is it. And then it was just complete shock as soon as he caught it, and then all the emotion just roared out from the crowd and everyone on the team, and even in the dugout. It was just great.
I've heard the rumor that the earth is covered by 70% water and the rest is covered by Alex DeSalvo.
His hair also might cover a third of that, but he covers the other 2/3, I'd say.
So the balls popped up to DeSalvo. You knew it was over. What's going through your mind?
I honestly, in my mind, I wasn't even thinking the game's over, the game's over, the game's over. I'm just in the air. I'm just standing on the mound. You can just see me like moving to the direction of first base, like what kind of like with the motion of the ball. And I'm just like watching him track down this ball. And at like one point I look up at the ball and I look up at him and I can see like it's pretty close and like how much further the ball had left. And I'm like, oh, it's over. Let's go. And he catches it. Like the crowd erupts and everything. I go up, I jump up with Aiden Rossi because he was the closest one to me. And he like, I was just up in the air and he hit the ground before me. And like, he just picks me up and I just kind of like let go of like all the, I don't know. I just let him slam me on the ground.
Yep.
Just because like, I'm not going to get hurt. But he just like suplexed me right on the, it looks so funny in the video. He just like suplexes me and just the dog pile is on. And then I think it's in the Tribune. You can see Alex Asavo gets to the pile and he takes his hand, grabs my hand, pulls me out of the pile, pulls me on the ground and just starts hugging me. And that was just like such a surreal moment. And then we get up, Cam's right there. He picks me up and starts carrying me around. It was just a great feeling.
I mean, you guys, you don't realize how painful that dog pile is until about 45 minutes after. I was in college. We won. The only championship I ever won was in college, and we had 50 guys on the roster. You guys had 11, so you were safe. We had 50 guys pile up and on a turf field that was probably 100 and some degrees. You get some bruises from those. So I'm glad to see you're not worse for wear here.
I mean, I'm not the biggest kid either, so I mean, I'm pretty like skinny. So I'm sitting at the bottom of the pile, just laying on top of everyone. I feel like I'm suffocating, just like, and I mean, like I can't catch my breath because I'm like screaming. I'm just so happy, and like I just can't catch my breath because I mean everyone's on top of me, and I'm just like yelling. I don't know why I'm talking so because I can't breathe, but I don't know. It was just out of pure excitement.
All right, so what is we'll play a little game of first thing that comes to your mind when I ask you a question, all right? One thing that you would give up your state title for at this point in your life.
Honestly, honestly, the only thing I'd give up that game for is probably another one. Yeah, there really isn't any much that I'd give up for that.
Well, that's the old Tom Brady line. What's your favorite Super Bowl? The next one.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm proud that you're already looking towards, especially with football, starting tomorrow for you guys? You're already ready for.
It's already started. Yeah. I mean, our coach gave us off this week, but I think it was I think football started like at the beginning of the playoffs. And I mean, we went to the practices just to build like the team energy and stuff and bond together. But he wouldn't make us run or anything, which was kind of nice. I didn't want a condition. But we would always go in there and lift with the kids, and then we'd go home. We'd go to breakfast afterwards with the kids just to, like, bond together. And, you know, tomorrow it starts back up, and I just can't wait to get back at it and bite at it and just go work to go get another one.
All right. Song that gets you amped up to get on the bump?
Oh, probably Thunderstruck.
A little AC/DC?
Yeah.
Look at you. You JFK kids know what it's all about. The good music.
We got a little bit of taste in music.
I like it. All right. Pregame meal.
Every game I eat eggs before, and I have some type of meat. I don't know what kind. And then I have usually I eat a Dunkin' breakfast sandwich. That's like I think that's what I've always ate in the playoffs. And I think in the state championship game, my mom was like, "Hey, what do you want to eat?" I'm like, "Hey, we're going to Dunkin'."
I love it.
So I'm not changing it up.
Quick plug for Dunkin'. We'll get them on as a sponsor. Don't worry. All right, let's go. What did I ask Mike? Oh, here's a good one. If you were to get plunked in the back, who's the first one out of the dugout to defend you?
Oh, Alex Asava. Easy. Easily.
Who is, if somebody gets plunked in the back, who is the last one out of the dugout?
Probably Nico Seminaro.
That's the same one Mike said. That's
really?
The same one. You guys are on the same page. I'm trying to think who he said the first one. I can't remember who he said who would be the first one on the dugout. Who would be the guy that would cry if he got plunked in the back?
I don't. Probably Nico. I mean,
Okay.
it was kind of funny because I forget what game we were playing in, but he got beamed in the head, and we just started heckling the pitcher after it. Obviously, like we were saying, like Cam was right next to me saying, "Oh my God, why'd you do that to my best friend, man?" And we get back on the bus the next morning to go play in either I think it was the regional championship, and yeah, it was the regional championship. We get on the bus to go play in it, and he's laying on the seats, and our coach is like, "Hey, what's wrong?" He's like, "My head's hurting me." Like he's like, I have a headache and stuff. And I'm pretty sure I don't know if he had a concussion or not.
Jeez.
But
not.
I don't because we cleared him before.
Yeah.
But it was just that was just going through my head before. I'm like, I hope he doesn't have a concussion.
Oh my goodness. All right, who is the guy that stares down the pitcher after he gets plunked?
Cam, me, and Alex. I'd say.
Wow.
I mean, you got a pretty good chance with all three of those.
Who's the guy that has the green light to steal bags?
Oh, Cam and me.
Okay. Not DeSalvo?
I'd say more Cam than me because he usually does it on his own. But probably me. Like I'd say Cam more than me. But yeah,
okay.
Both of us.
Out of your coaches, who is winning a foot race to first base?
Coach Carmen.
Is there anybody that could still play on this team? From your coaches? Can they still lace them up?
No, I think Coach Carmen can still play. He plays on a summer team, I've heard. He's told me, and he pitches to us in practice, and he throws pretty decent. Like he's probably low 80s, I'd say. He throws it well.
Is there anybody any one of your coaches that could hit you?
Hit me? I don't think. I honestly don't think so.
All right, let's get serious for a minute. Who are your role models in baseball? Who do you look up to? Who do you model your game after?
I'd probably say an all-time role model for me would probably be my father. Just because, I mean, throughout my entire life, from when I was 3 years old, from whenever I could walk, he got me into baseball. One good thing about him is like he never lets me be satisfied, which means that means that I can always get better. If I do something great, he compliments me for a second on it, and then it's right back to what I could do better. And that's what I just love about him. Like he never lets me be complacent with myself, and he always wants me to be a better version of myself. And I've just heard we used to go down to the park when I was younger, like 12, 13, and I'd always go down and he'd see someone that he knew, and they would always just say, "Oh, are you as good as your father was?" And he's like, "No, he's not there yet. I don't think he will be." But I was looking through his phone the other day because I was looking at the pictures, and one of his friends from work, I think, said, all those years that you said your son wasn't as good as you, I think he caught up, and I think he kind of surpassed you now. So that was just funny to say. I took a screenshot of it just to show him next time he says I'm not as good as him. But then probably I'd say that's probably an all-time role model for me. And I'd say probably a high school role model for me would probably be Cam. Like just how he carries himself, how he takes control of every situation that he's in. It's just, I don't know. It's just unhuman. Like in every sport, he just has that, takeover factor about him. Like he can just change a game just like that.
That's awesome. All right, what's one thing that you learned from this championship this week that you're going to take into football season?
Probably the feeling afterwards, just with all the players, and just how it feels just to hold up that gold trophy. And to be honest with you, I mean, a lot of people would probably be satisfied with just winning that state championship. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Something about it. I just want another one so bad now. That just made it even I celebrated it for a couple of days. Believe me, I'm still really happy and grateful and thankful for it. But it would just mean the world to me to win one with all the football players, especially the ones that didn't play baseball. Just because I know how much they put into the game, how much they work at it, and how much they strive to get better each and every day and day in and day out. That would just be great to hold up a trophy with them.
All right, Gav. The last thing I have for you is we know we're gonna see you a lot on YSN this summer. Where are we gonna find you? Who you playing for? And what's the goal there?
I'm playing on Nightline 18U under Juice. Great coach. You know, we had a rough start. I think I wasn't at really a lot of the games. Just because I couldn't play, and I was whenever they had a game, I either had a game or I had a practice, so I couldn't be there to watch them play all the time. But now with me back, I just feel like, and I hope that I can bring some energy to the team to get them going. We played last night, and by the looks of it, we have a really good team and we have a lot of potential. We played a really good Edge team, which, I mean, it hurt, obviously, just to see some of the other kids that you played with on that team. I mean, I hope they do their best in whatever they do, and I wish them nothing but success, but just hurts, not playing with them anymore. But I see a lot of potential in our senior team. I just hope that when I come back for the next couple games that we have this week or the rest of the season, that I can just bring energy to the team, lead them, and just like how I did in high school. And hopefully we can make the playoffs and hopefully go win a Scene Park trophy.
That a boy. He's Gavin Shrum, the state champion, I should say, Gavin Shrum, and he pitched in the championship game and brought it home for the Warren JFK Eagles. Congratulations, young man. We're proud of you as always and looking forward to what you do next.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.